Hello, welcome. It's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube, and I am here for Wednesday check-in. So welcome, extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light family, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. I'm sitting down here today at the Devonport Bluff in northern Tasmania. I haven't been here before. There's a few cars going past and quite a lot of people around, a lot of seagulls, a few flies, but I think this will be a fine spot to share our Wednesday check-in. So it's Wednesday, so let's check in. So take a moment to take a nice big breath. If you're new to my checking in videos, please look back through Wednesday check-ins. I have been doing these now, this must be my 5th or my 6th one, so there's probably a few that you can look back on and connect with. The first one is like an introduction, like why should we check in? So there's a few different variations that I've shared over the weeks, but every Wednesday, I think except for one, is Wednesday check-in. So take a moment to stop and catch your breath and think about observing what's going on for your body. You're not wanting to judge, you're just wanting to do a scan from top to bottom, head to toe, in the physical and also on an emotional level and a mental level. So what we're doing is we're observing. Now what we observe, then we want to be looking at what action might we need to take to help rectify whatever it is that we discover. So that's why we're checking in. So there's different topics and things that I like to cover in our Wednesday check-in. For this particular one, we're looking at a question that was sent in. This was sent in by Leanne Edwards. And Leanne Edwards asks, well, she says, I would like to self-heal as I'm having a lot of problems with my body. I just don't feel that I'm doing it right. So this is a thing, and I guess, you know, all of our bodies are unique. How we check in with ourselves is going to be unique. Everything about us really is unique. We might look similar on the outside. We might have 2 eyes and a nose and a mouth, hopefully. But aside from that, we're very much individual and unique. So it really is about working out what works for us as individuals. What works for me may not work for you. Some of what works for me may work for you. And the rest may not, and this is okay. So I think it's important when we're thinking of self-healing not to box ourselves into, you know, a certain way or a certain process, because it very much is individual and it does take a little bit of time. It doesn't have to take a lot of time, but it can take a little bit of time to get familiar with our body's needs and also adjust with it, because our body's always changing, and if things are deteriorating health-wise, or if we're dealing with problems with our physical body, or even emotionally or mentally, it's going to require a new way of handling or a new way of finding that balance. So as part of the reason why I do these regular weekly check-in videos, which, you know, I would be doing it daily, but, you know, weekly is good for now. Part of me doing these is to encourage you to get into the habit of sort of checking in and listening and observing how you feel and what's going on for you. So this is something to really amp up, especially if you're wanting to self-heal and practice your self-healing or get further into it. So it can take time, and it also requires adjustments. So what worked last week may not work next week, because the demands of our body changes. So we have to also be flexible. And, you know, really working out what works for us and what doesn't. And like I say, what works one week may not work the next, which means that we have to continue to be flexible and let ourselves grow and change in this way. Also, I made a few notes here. Also, I think it's important, if you're not feeling that you're doing your self-healing right, or if you're not seeing any benefits, then I'd also be looking at my self-belief and my ability to trust in myself. Because if I'm kind of practicing something that I've been told is good for self-healing, but it doesn't really resonate with me, it's probably not going to work very well. So, we need to find something that we believe in. Find something that we can trust. Like my healing energy cards, for example. I made them, so of course I trust them. And I've found that their guidance over this last 10, 11 years has been incredibly accurate. So as you work with your tools, as you work with your crystals, your healing energy cards, your oils, your minerals or whatever, you'll find what you can trust as it starts having an effect, a positive benefit. Yeah, so I'm not particularly trusting of things that people might say, this works for me, or that might be trying to sell me something, like a car salesman, and trying to push something onto me. I cannot trust something unless I have a positive experience that it has some benefit to me. So this is why I try not to push my things that work for me. I just kind of lay it all out there and say, okay, this works for me, why don't you give it a go if you want, and see if it might work for you too. So I think, it's not necessarily about what we're being told works, but more about, okay, I'm curious about that, I'll try it, and I'll see if it works for me, and then I can trust in it. So it's not just about trusting in whatever it is you're using or doing, but also trusting in yourself. Valuing yourself, believing in yourself. These have a really profound, and self-worth, these have a real profound effect on our ability to help ourselves. Because if we don't believe we deserve it, or we're not giving ourselves the time, then that's probably going to be one of the factors in it not working, or you feeling like you're not doing it right as well. And I think probably one of the most essential things in this self-healing journey is getting to know our own body, getting to know how we feel, getting to know how our mind works, getting to know our morals, our ethics, our truth, who we are. These have to be the foundation of this, because when we know who we are, when we understand how our body works, like I understand that I respond well to mornings, I'm a morning person, I'm more active of a morning, I tend to get tired earlier of a night, most times for the most part. So there's certain routines and certain things that my body needs to just be my body. So when we can recognize our uniqueness and the unique qualities of our body, our emotions, our mind, our values, our morals, our ethics, I think this is a really important aspect in moving forward with our self-healing. So keep trying different things, keep increasing your ability to trust in yourself and trust in the products or the items that you're using. They don't have to cost a fortune, so be careful of believing that too. And let yourself adjust and be flexible to what it is that you need. So I trust this resonates with you and makes sense. So thank you so much for connecting today. If you've enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to. And if you want to connect more privately, please send us a message through our website. If you want to learn more about me, please visit templeofbalance.com.au. So I will be back next week for Wednesday check-in. Please keep an eye out for it. And if you think any of your friends or family might enjoy this information, then please share it away. That would be great. And if you'd like to support my work, please consider having a look on my website at templeofbalance.com.au. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Bye.